Hello, and welcome back to the Volume Vegan Cooking Channel. To continue sharing what I'm putting on my Thanksgiving table this year, I have my current favorite mushroom gravy recipe. Baby portobello mushrooms are cooked down with yellow onions, seasoned to perfection, and blended down smooth with 1/10 of the fat that you are used to consuming in your average gravy. Since I have plenty of healthy fats in my holiday roast, my broccoli casserole and roasted veggies, as well as that banana pudding, I am taking advantage of places that I don't need to add fat. My history with vegan gravy is quite an adventure. It is a food that I wanted to make so absolutely delicious to the non-vegan family that I shared it with. I wanted them to be absolutely blown away. One year, I spent over 2 hours caramelizing a pan of onions to sheer perfection before combining it into a heavenly gravy, only to turn up at Thanksgiving and watch an extended family member not only refuse to try anything that didn't have at least one animal component to it, but they proceeded to use literal dirty potato water that they had just boiled potatoes in for mashed potatoes, combined with a pack of powdered beef gravy in front of me to make a different gravy choice for themselves at this holiday gathering. It actually hurt my feelings. My last favorite go-to gravy was full of fat. Like 50% of it was fat. That's what I thought gravy had to be. Like half a cup of vegan butter, saute onions down, add flour and water and other ingredients, and boom, gravy. I was so wrong. When I think about how much I have denied myself gravy because I thought that it had to be something that was so bad for me. Let's not deny ourselves gravy any longer. Let's heat up a skillet and get started. So while my skillet is heating up, I chop up half of a large yellow onion. And when the skillet is hot, I add just about a teaspoon of grapeseed oil to my skillet so that my onions won't stick. And then I add the onions and sprinkle just a little salt and pepper over them. People who don't want the fat use either the natural oils from the onion, or they'll splash some water or a little vegetable broth to cook their onion down. But I like the crisping and the browning that having a little fat adds. It adds dimension to the flavor of the onion, so I am using just a little bit. While my onions are cooking down, I clean and slice my baby portobello mushrooms, and once the onions are soft, I add the mushrooms to the skillet and stir them in. The mushrooms will start to release their liquid, and so we're going to cook that out, just stirring occasionally until most of that liquid is gone. Once the mushrooms have cooked down a good bit, I add a lot of minced garlic, because that is my way. Maybe 4 or 5 cloves worth. Add less if you're not that much of a garlic fan. I created a little spice blend here. You're not going to see me pouring it in with the measurement spoon because I crushed all of this between my fingers to release their essences. This is a teaspoon of dried thyme leaves and half of a teaspoon of dried rosemary leaves. And then I add them into the pot, stirring them into my mushroom, onion, garlic mixture, and letting the whole thing kind of simmer while the herby fragrance fills the air. And now I just add in my dry ingredients: 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons of tapioca starch, and 2 tablespoons of rice flour, stirring it to cover all of the flour in moisture, and then, cook that flour down a bit so we're not just eating raw flour. Then I'm going to add in the broth. This is the brand of broth cubes that I generally buy. They're by Edward & Sons, and this is the not chicken variety. I like it a lot. I usually get the garden veggie one, but sometimes they're just out and I'll get this one and it's great. The recipe is that one of the broth cubes is mixed with 2 cups of water, and that makes 2 cups of vegetable broth. So I'm just throwing a cube into my gravy mix and adding 2 cups of water to the skillet. And I'm going to scrape the bottom of the pan to deglaze and then stir often as I bring this mixture to a boil. Now don't worry if you've made gravy before and you're thinking, this is chunky, what's happening here? Don't worry about getting any bits of flour chunks smoothed out. It's not the goal. We're going to blend this whole thing down in a minute. It's going to be fine. Once this is boiling, just reduce the mixture to a simmer. And here I am adding just a teaspoon of cooking sherry. And here is a tablespoon of liquid aminos. This is my favorite gluten-free soy sauce replacement if you prefer, or if you just have it on hand. You can also use coconut aminos or tamari here as well to keep it gluten-free. And then I'm adding a 1/4 cup of unsweetened plain oat milk. And once we've got that whole mixture combined, we're going to turn off the heat and we're just going to let that cool down to the point that it's not, it can be steaming, but you don't want it to be bubbling or boiling anymore. And once the mixture has settled down, add it to your blender. We're going to smooth it down so that it is a perfectly incorporated gravy. As you're blending out this very hot concoction, here's a warning. Please make sure that you're allowing steam to escape from the top. If you've got one of these little caps, like a measuring cap or something that might be attached to your top, you want to remove that and maybe just have a little paper towel that you're shielding everything from any gravy splatters while you allow that steam to escape, because steam it creates pressure while you're blending, and that could just make the whole thing pop. And you don't want hot gravy splattering all over the place. That is bad. That's not what you want. That's not what we're trying to do here. So please be careful. And then we're all done. It's all smooth. All of those ingredients are just smoothed out together in the blender, and it's perfect. This is a flavorful, complex, delicious. I can't even describe how beautiful the flavor of this is. Once you get it smoothed down, before you take it out of your blender, taste it for, seasoning. You might need to add a little bit more salt or pepper here. That would not, if you need anything to help you thin the mixture out, add a little bit more vegetable broth. If you need to thicken it up a little bit, add a little bit more of your starch. Have your gravy how you like it. And here it is, plated for the holiday, on top of the mashed cauliflower that I'm going to show you how to make, along with my roasted carrots, my holiday roast slices stuffed with beets in that beautiful color, and broccoli casserole, all of which I hope to have up on my channel before you start making your own holiday feast. Thank you so much for watching another one of my cooking videos. If you are excited about this video, if you think you're going to make this recipe or share it with some friends, please use that share button so that everybody can enjoy some delicious, very, very, very low-fat mushroom gravy. Please, while you're here, subscribe to my channel and switch on those notifications so that you never miss another one of my cooking recipe videos. I hope you really enjoy this one. It's really, really delicious. I have been kind of eating it on everything since I made it. Wonderful. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you have a great holiday. If you're in the US, or whenever you're having this, whatever this week or this meal means to you, I hope you really, really enjoy it. And as always, I'll talk to you very, very soon. And bye-bye.